Hello and welcome to 365 Days of Healing. Today I thought we would discuss our awakening and what is the driving force behind the seeking of awakening. Why do we even bother? What is it that is in us that forces us or creates this yearning or questing for reason, or where we're going, where we're headed to, what it is that we're doing? What is it that is in us to want us to unravel the reasons behind our yearning for something else than what we've got? Well, it seems that for many of us, it is encoded into our being. It's part of our template, in other words. It's part of the blueprint that we've come here to discover. It's part of the quest that we're on to understand why, just that, why, and what it is. There is something in our nature that almost wants to look for another part of ourself, which seems to be outside of ourselves, or what we call our twin flame, our soul group, who we're aligned to. What is it that is driving us to try to discover something that we can't quite grasp? And what is it that we call this journey through life, this questing to awaken or to become enlightened, when we probably are? Even having the concept of what enlightenment is means that we have discovered what enlightenment is. And therefore it's just sitting within that enlightened state and being in that enlightened state. Now, for many people, they don't want to find anything further outside of their conditioning, outside of their day-to-day lives, the place that they are living in or what they're doing. There is no questing within them to discover a reason behind why they have this yearning within them. And they're quite comfortable. They're quite comfortable living in that, what we call that level of consciousness, or in that dimension of understanding. For many others, though, there is this great quest, and those of you that are listening to this invariably will be in that questing, that yearning, that seeking, that uplifting need that you have in yourself to discover or to realize your spirituality, your soul self, leading you forward into places of discovery. And that's why you're listening to this. Now, through millennia, tribal people or First Nation people looked to the heavens, looked to the portals that were available to them, looked to understand that there was something beyond just the here and now. And when we live in a more natural world, it seems that it is more easy for us to discover that level of understanding. When we have moved, and through the history of we humans, we have moved into a more technological age, we have moved into a more artificial age where we can manipulate and order our environment. So we're almost living in, and some people do live in and enjoy living in, what we call a virtual world. And when you are living in that virtual world, it is very difficult to move outside of that world and to see something else, because you are connected to artificial ways of being manipulated. And I suppose that's where I'm coming from, as to those of you that are searching for more and more understanding as to what this awakening is about, this growth towards higher and higher consciousness, and more spirituality in your world and in our world. If we don't start returning to a more natural world, if we don't discover communities and different ways of ordering our systems within our society, then we are destined to lose our connection with what we have gained in that spiritual world. And I suppose that's the quest that many of us are on, to try to awaken those that are on the periphery, that aren't already have not already fallen into that virtual world, but those that are on the cusp of possibly jumping towards a more spiritual understanding of what and why we do what we do. It's a difficult program that we're in to discover the way forward. And we are breaking new ground, new old ground, I'll say, by moving into those astral planes and understanding from the fourth dimension that we have power in that energetically to break down some of these artificial environments and some of these artificial beings that live there. These artificial beings that live in those astral planes, in the lower astral planes, are actually not real. They have to feed off our energy. They feed off the energy that is ordered from the lower energetic fields of fear, shame, guilt, and all the emotions that go with that. And that's what they feed off. They are artificial. They are not real. And we can annihilate them very easily from that astral plane. We can go into the astral plane and we can destroy the energy that they are. They have created this energy around us, which is tied into these artificial worlds that we are living more and more in. And it's time that if we're going to grow in spirituality, that we start addressing some of these artificial worlds that we too have been drawn into. If you have this great yearning in you to keep growing spiritually, it is imperative that you connect with your natural rhythm and the natural rhythm of Gaia, the natural rhythm of nature, the natural rhythm that is our world, because that will be our guidance of growing into higher and higher levels of that spiritual reality that we know is available to us. And when we do that, we start meeting more and more people that are aligned for us. Much food for thought. Stay on your journey. Try to connect with those that are on the cusp of coming on the journey with us. And my blessings to each and every one of you that are on the journey to make this the purest, most beautiful place that we can abide. Namaste, my friends.